Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat. You're watching iGyaan, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Xiaomi Mi TV 4 that's just been launched in India. So let's quickly get started. Now, first of all, the Xiaomi Mi TV 4 has been launched at a really attractive price of Rs 39,999, roughly $600 US. At this price, the TV offers a 55-inch diagonal display with 4K resolution and HDR capabilities. Now, for those who want to geek out on a little bit of specifications for the television, the exact width of the television with the stand installed is 48 inches, and the exact height of the television is 31.1 inches. The television with the stand weighs in at about 17.8 kilograms and is easily wall mountable as well. So in case you want to remove the stand and mount it on your wall, you can do that. At its thinnest point, which is basically the top edge of the panel, the television is 4.9 millimeters in terms of thickness, and it is one of the slimmest televisions that you can get on the market, but it does widen out when you go towards the bottom where all the hardware and the processors are. So it's not the slimmest throughout, but it is the slimmest panel because it's basically the panel at the back with this metal plate covering the backside. Now, the panel itself is manufactured by Samsung, and it is a BA panel with a 16:9 aspect ratio, a 3840 by 2160 pixel resolution. Now, at this resolution, the television runs at 60 Hz. So the TV itself has an 85% NTSC color gamut, which is more than the sRGB color gamut, but less than the P3 color gamut. So definitely good position for the television to be in, especially at the price point. The static contrast is 6000:1, and a horizontal and vertical viewing angles are at 178 degrees. So the panel is really nice in terms of viewability, good amount of contrast, good amount of color. The display area on the television itself in the front is about 91.43%, which means that three sides, the top, the left and the right, have extremely minimal bezels, and the bottom part where the strip is where also the Mi logo is where all the display controllers are. So you get a nice three-sided edgeless display. The average response time from the TV is 8 milliseconds. Now, like I mentioned, the vertical frequency, also known as the refresh rate of the television, is at 60 Hz on 4K. Now, the Mi TV 4 natively does not support Dolby Vision, but it does support HDR10. Lots of content for HDR10 is already available, and lots more content will keep getting made. And Xiaomi has promised that if enough demand and content is available for Dolby Vision, television is capable of supporting this, and the company will be able to enable this at a later on date. For now, you can play Dolby Vision content directly off of Netflix like we did, but it will not be as vivid or as accurate as Dolby Vision is. For the content that does work in HDR, we found that color reproduction and differentiation between different colors as well as low deep levels of black is mighty impressive on the Xiaomi Mi TV 4, which means that you will truly and thoroughly enjoy this HDR experience, and if this is your first HDR experience, you will truly be impressed by the TV and what it's capable of. Now, finally, the panel is side edge lit, so it's not backlit, which is a good thing in certain cases and a bad thing in certain cases. But we found that the color reproduction is pretty good, and it maintains the low levels of black, really punchy colors otherwise, so we didn't find any color bleeding on the panel. It's a really high-end panel, and that's what we expected from this in the first place. Now, other specs include the Amlogic T968 chipset, which is a quad-core CPU with 1.8 GHz on the clock. You also get the Mali T830 MP2 GPU with 2 GPU cores. The GPU is at 750 MHz. You do get 2 GB of RAM, which is DDR3 RAM, and then you also get 8 GB of onboard storage on this television. Now, this does have MIUI TV installed with a software that the company calls Patchwall. Now, Patchwall is Xiaomi's own way of building a smart TV user interface, and at first glance, it's quite an ingenious way as well, because it not only manages all your content from all your streaming services and it allows you to resume where you left off, but it also allows you to see how much of a current show is left on television. So certain things which are not streaming can also be seen on Patchwall and then decided whether or not you want to go and watch that show. Now, instead of browsing, you need to point and click at individual boxes of each show, which might be cumbersome to begin with, but you soon get used to this format of the television, and it allows for better navigation and better utilization of the real estate that is on your TV screen. Especially if you are watching consistently the same kind of shows, the television then starts recommending similar shows on the basis of that, and the Patchwall interface works really well in conjunction with all of these things. What's also interesting is is that patch wall allows you to control your set-top boxes, and Xiaomi has managed to basically train the television to work with almost all set-top boxes that are available in India, and they're constantly adding more. So once you go into your set-top box settings, you'll find your local providers, your mainstream providers like Tata, Airtel, and even Dish, and you'll be able to control your set-top boxes for each and every feature from the Xiaomi remote. Now Xiaomi plans to add voice features to this television as well, so you'll be able to control all of those through a separately available Xiaomi voice-enabled remote or from a Xiaomi television app on your smartphone, Android phone mostly, which will then allow users to completely ditch the remote control, so to speak, and then control the television in its entirety from your smartphone. Now we did try to sideload Google Play Store to the Xiaomi Mi TV 4, and while the apps did install without a hitch, the Google Play Store wouldn't run and it wouldn't open up. It would just crash and then close up. And while Netflix did run and it did reach the home screen and I was able to sign in onto Netflix as well, I was not able to play any content or browse through any of the videos. It was just a static screen. So that is definitely something that Xiaomi needs to work on. Being that this is a smart TV, I should be able to stream content from my favorite movie streaming services, and Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and most of these services are not yet available on the television. Now what's good is that it does have HDMI too, so I slapped on the Apple TV 4K HDR version, which was just launched, and I plugged it into the television, and the first thing it asked me is that, do you want HDR? And I enabled that, and then suddenly once I logged into Netflix on the Apple TV, I was able to view content in Dolby Vision. Now this looks absolutely fantastic on the television, and I was shocked and surprised to see the quality of the content that this television can handle. Now you can really see that levels of black are really punchy and they won't translate to what you see on camera versus what you see in real life. So you really need to go and see this in a Mi store or someplace before you make your decision. The colors are really accurate and the black levels are really deep. So as far as color reproduction and HDR quality is concerned, this television is absolutely top notch. With the refresh rate of 60 Hz and a 8 millisecond response time, this is not the best screen for playing games, but if you do want to play games, you will manage to do that really well on this display. Now the speaker itself is not extremely loud, but it's good, has punchy bass and good amounts of volume as well, but I would recommend getting a sound bar or maybe a pair of headphones to truly enjoy your gaming experience on this television. Now inherently the television has two 8-watt speakers which do support Dolby Audio, DTS HD and virtual surround sound, so that means that out of the box you'll get a pretty good audio experience, and then later on you can enhance it like I mentioned with a soundbar or something like that. Now at a price of rupees 39,999, a 55-inch 4K HDR panel is enough to have me sold with respect to pricing. Now this is not just any panel, it's one of the best panels that Samsung makes, and at this price bracket, it's not got the best refresh rate or the quickest response time, but it is one of the good displays that you can get out there in the market. The HDR content is quite stunning and you will thoroughly enjoy viewing your content on this television, especially if you're going towards the HDR streaming route. Now bear in mind, several things still don't work. You don't have apps and most of the side-loaded apps don't work properly on this television, but I'm sure there'll be workarounds, and once people start getting their hands on this television, they'll start experimenting with the software and you will soon find ways to install and load apps onto this if they don't officially come from the company. The company is said to be already working with several providers including Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc. to try and get them on board onto the MIUI television train, but right now it seems to be restricted to providers like Hungama, which may not be a bad thing for a lot of users who watch that kind of content. Now with glorious HDR reproduction, good color levels and pretty decent sound out of the box, should you buy this television at 39,999? Absolutely. That's it for our review. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyaan. This has been Bharat. I will see you guys in the next one.
Sometimes I'm like a whisper in a riot.